All right. So, welcome everybody. I'm Kate Duffy from UMKC's Propel Program.
And I'm
And
Kim Riley from the Transition Academy. And Kate, I'm going to lead off. We do a little bit of a overview of how Tuesday Talks work. So I'll just lead off just to get everyone on the same page, and then
okay.
I'll hand it over to you if that's okay. Okay. Tuesday Talks launched on March 31st. The goal was that since we were in the midst of COVID-19 and we were quarantined, let's use this as a time to connect. And so we just have a loose agenda. We spend the first 20 minutes with a presentation, then we go into a Q&A, and then the last half we devote to resource sharing. This is kind of loose. Sometimes the presentation and the Q&A go over, and so then we devote the what's left to resource sharing, but we keep it to an hour or less. And so I am excited that we are going to meet our friends at the UMKC Propel Program, one of the great programs so that all students are allowed to be successful and have the college experience. And with that in mind, I will turn it over to my dear friend, Kate Duffy, to tell us more.
Okay. Thank you. I do have our old PowerPoint presentation with tons of visuals here I can pull up.
Okay.
And basically, let me get that going here for you.
I think there's Joyce is trying to get in.
Oh, thank you.
So basically, Propel is celebrating its 5th year. We have been funded by a Department of Education grant. That grant will end in September. And then we are going to spend some time trying to rehome Propel. Currently, because of COVID-19 financing, UMKC does not have the funds for us to stay there after May 2021. So we are open for suggestions, and we're talking to area colleges about that. But it's a 2-year program, and our students take classes with non-Propel students 75% of the time. We support our students with academic coaching, undergraduate mentors who work with students about 10 hours a week, as well as we provide intensive advising for students. Our curriculum looks like this. Basically, the top sections on the chart are the classes, the actual Propel classes. We start with a focus on how do you learn, how do all human beings learn, but how do you learn in an academic setting? We do a lot with person-centered planning because we want our students to leave the program at the end of 2 years with a plan for a career path, a job path, or sometimes, as in 6 of our students, transferring back, or 7 of our students transferring back to a college or university to finish their degree or associate's degree. A big part of our program is helping students get ready for work. We know research shows that students who have paid jobs when they are in.
Did you want to share your slides?
Aren't they sharing?
No, we're just looking at you.
Oh no. Okay.
Not that that's a problem. It's a good thing.
Maybe can you send it to me real quick, and then
so I can't share them from my position here, right? Let's see. Let me see.
They'll have to give you permission.
Can you? Okay, I was
Now,
gonna say.
can you see it?
Oh yeah, you're good now. I can.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We're good.
We do a lot with work-based learning. We have students volunteering out in the community. And one of the ways that we help them prepare for that is through the courses that they take, the person-centered planning courses, the career development classes. They are constantly working on resumes, practicing interview skills. taking interest inventories to figure out if they don't already have a strong interest, what it is they might want to do. So some of the places that we have sent students to, because of their interest in the field or the community organization, people who have culinary interests, we sent them to Thelma's Kitchen at 31st and Main to work in the front of the restaurant there, helping to seat people, greet people. We've had people who were interested in railroads, so we've sent them down to Union Station and they volunteered in the model railroad. We've also had a number of students interested in acting or theater. So they've gone down to the Kaufman Center for Performing Arts, who turned out to be one of our best partners. One of my favorites is Mike, one of our students who volunteers at Union Station, and he is such a regular down there that one day they were really short staffed, so he just kind of managed the whole front of the Genghis Khan exhibit where he was helping people come in, taking their tickets, just kind of managing the whole front of that operation. Let's see. When students come to college, they not only get ADA supports, they also, when they're in the Propel program, they have some other supports that we offer. We have undergraduate students who are mentoring them, but also intensive advising. And what I mean by that, when you're in college, you generally don't see your advisor except for once a semester. But at Propel, the advisors play a key role in helping to make sure that our students are following through on their assignments, are paying attention to what they're supposed to be doing, helping them with time management. So they team up with the mentors to work on those skills together. And then they're also practicing them in the classes. So they're kind of getting it all the way around in their day at Propel. The other place that they will get them is in the house communities. We've split up our cohorts into 5 different house groups, and they stay together either for a semester or the whole academic year, depending on their course schedule. With that, they meet weekly for social activities, but they come in the mornings and do a check-in too with advisors and mentors just to see what they have to do that day. And it's just kind of practicing those skills of learning how to manage yourself and manage your time. We also have had a Propel Light program where students who didn't need all of the Propel classes come in and can just take a few of the classes but still get the services that they need. Mentoring, being part of a house community, and internship, kind of depending on what they need. Okay, so one of the things that Propel is part of a nationwide movement of colleges offering classes for students with intellectual disabilities and developmental disabilities. I think what sets UMKC apart in this is, one, we don't charge any fees on top of what students paid for semester. Because if we did, that would leave out many of our students. We want to focus on low to moderate income students who would probably not be able to afford the extra $5,000 to $15,000 that are tacked on to these kinds of programs nationwide. And part of that fee that other schools charge is that they have you live in the dorms, and we don't require that because that would just be way too expensive. Residential living for students is about $10,000 to $15,000 a year on top of what their tuition. So we really have tried to keep ours geared to low to moderate income students as well as other students. our program too has been, students have been able to use financial aid to pay for our program, so that helps quite a bit as well. And then finally, the other thing that sets us apart is that every class our students take is a 4-credit class. Many of these programs do not offer college classes for credit. You take a whole system of classes that are kind of added to the university curriculum, but that are only open for those particular students. Our theory is that if our students can learn how to navigate a college classroom, that's a great microcosm for the world. Then you're able to navigate a lot of different situations. Our students take 4 classes per semester, so that's 4 different environments they're learning to manage, 4 different bosses, instructors that they are learning to work with, and 4 different sets of groups of students that they are learning how to partner with, get along with, share space with. So it's a great teaching model. And at the end, students leave Propel with 48 credit hours. Many of our students just transfer those back to UMKC or transfer them to another school, but you leave with college credits that you've paid for and that you've earned. And this is just money, just about how much it costs to go to college these days. Just finish up here. I'm gonna close this out. We have a bunch of our family members and staff here. If any of you would like to contribute, like what your experience has been with Propel, this would be a great time to do it. No?
So my experience as a student in the Propel program, it's been a really positive experience all in all. I feel like a lot of that is down to how the Propel program assigns you a mentor who you get to check in with super duper frequently. So it's just like you've got a buddy to just like cheer you along and see you succeed. That is just one of my favorite parts of the program and something that I really appreciate. So thanks, Propel.
Thank you, David. David has gone on to become a peer mentor, a near peer mentor in Professor Dan McIntosh's astronomy program. Professor McIntosh opens up his astronomy classes to local high school students, and he always has near peer mentors to help those students adjust to the class. And David's job this semester is to be one of those near peer mentors. He learned that he had an affinity for and really appreciated astronomy from taking Professor Kasparian's 2 astronomy classes that are open to undergraduates. And that made him think about becoming a science teacher. So David is one of the students who, when he graduated from Propel, transferred his classes over into the College of Arts and Sciences at UMKC, and is working as a near peer mentor this semester along with his classes. He is also our go-to person. He created a study table for the 5 students we have this semester in Professor McIntosh's astronomy class, which is a really excellent class, but really hard class too. So thank you, David, for doing that.
You are welcome.
Anybody else?
I've got to work with Propel since near the beginning. of it starting. And I really enjoy working with students and helping them accomplish things that they thought were too hard and they couldn't do, or um, seeing their growth, um, and seeing them excel, um, where a lot of times people don't expect students with um, intellectual disabilities to excel in. Um, and so I've got quite a few favorites.
Mhm.
I like to share. This is Dorothy in my first year with Propel, and we have experienced the sense of family with Propel. The students feel very comfortable and connected with their Propel family, and they can find all that within Cherry Hall. And the knowledge and the skills that they have, I mean, Dorothy and I have found ourselves asking, hey, how do you do such and such? But they really want to help each other. And the independents are seeking us out to have questions answered has been a really neat experience. And the opportunities that they have for jobs right now is kind of difficult with the COVID, but there were things that were about to get started on different levels, but the students really seem to know what it is that they want to do, and then finding that outlet for them to experience in a volunteer environment is really cool to experience. I'm sharing for me and Dorothy because she's unable to speak on her end, so.
Can you all share the obvious that you are identical twins and blah, blah, blah?
I think it's the Zoom screen. Yes, we
You
are.
are not seeing things. Yes.
Okay, cool. Can you all talk through like what is what is college readiness? What should students, teachers, families do to prepare students so that they can be successful in college in a program like Propel or others?
Mhm. I'm going to start this off and then everybody else chime in. When families ask me what can we do to help our students prepare for college, I think the most important thing you can do is have them have a job, paid or volunteer, because when you have a job, it forces you to pay attention to somebody else's needs other than your own. There's a lot, and you have a lot you have to take in. You have to figure out, what your boss wants, what the customers want. It's a really great teaching situation. You can learn a lot from a job, and I think that's really critical, is for our students to be able to get out of themselves and just look at what the outside world is asking of them as early as possible. Anybody else want to add to that?
Hi, my name's Karen. I'm one of the AmeriCorps Vista volunteers with the Propel program. And I just think as far as preparing and so forth, I think kind of like what Ms. Kate said, but having conversations as early as possible. And if you set expectations early with a young person, I think that can just help kind of carry them through. And also just having open conversations as far as what their interests are and so forth, and just keeping them involved in different programs, and just the opportunity to meet others and just continue to have expectations for them about going to school and how important it is that you continue on with that. And I just think it's never too early to have those conversations and just keep the bar raised, and so that they can continue to work towards meeting that. So.
And to piggyback off of Karen, Dorothy wanted me to mention to strengthen at any time the self-advocacy skills of your young adult, giving them as many opportunities as they can to ask for help, who to ask for help, because you don't want them to always be dependent or know that, well, mom will take care of it or my caregiver will take care of it. Crystal's a good example. Crystal's very good at advocating for herself. And I think it was Miss Riley, you said earlier, we've known Crystal since she was, I think, like 4 or 5 in our girls' dance class. But her mom always said she's going to go to college. And Crystal has always told us the things that she wants to do. And to see her live out those things is a very cool experience to be able to observe and be a part of. But advocating and then being involved in social activities, I think that's very important as well, to find different things either on campus or in your community to be a part of.
Hello.
Hi, Crystal.
Hey, Sophie. Me. They're Harry. It's me.
Mhm.
The first here. I did the activities. The students. The the sports.
Mhm.
The campus. Becca. Sadie. Games. Whole game. To the and then me prepare like they have them to prepare.
Mhm.
They have them to this is second first the tablet second the mornings to
Mhm.
Saturday Saturday afternoon to
Mhm.
second to the tablet the have the student the president to help him to
Mhm.
working library with him the something to help him a lot to help like me as you myself
Mhm.
it's a myself too
Mhm.
something doing it to prepare to put his name and what time and um come out and leave the class.
Mhm. So Crystal's job as a Vista for Propel was she did a lot of different things, but one of her strengths is that she is really good at social events. She goes
And
to all the games at UMKC. She knew all the players.
yeah, a soccer player too.
Right, the soccer players, the basketball players, the volleyball
Yeah.
players. She knew all of them because she went to their games. And so knowing that, we helped her with her Vista job where she was in charge of helping our other students who are not so good about social events going to different events and creating different social events on campus or at Cherry Hall, which was our home base, so that they would have some other things to do. Because that's one of the skills that was hardest for students to learn is how to develop their own social life. I mean, it was
Yeah.
really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Too.
Something something Rebecca to help out
Right.
Wi-Fi her phone help out to
Mhm.
the Rebecca come out walking off of there the street walking Rebecca the what you buy on campus
Right.
Rebecca too.
So that's one of the things that she did for us too, is when at the beginning of the school year with new students, she would make sure that they knew how to get to their classroom. She would walk with students
Yeah.
to the classroom.
Yeah, I
So
did.
that was a big part of the job that she
Yeah.
did. So we should probably let somebody else talk now too, Crystal.
Okay, Sophie.
Thank you for contributing.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any questions?
I just wanted to say I'm a parent. And one of the things that we did with our student to help prepare her for UMKC is to participate in the special program that they have over at Johnson County Community College for a couple of years. Their program it doesn't allow students to earn credits, but it allows them to learn how to practice being a student and being a college student. And we found that to be very helpful for our student. The other thing in terms of preparation, I think for myself, my own personal experience, I had to prepare myself a lot for the level of independence that is given to the students in the Propel program. There is a ton of support, but there's also a lot of independence on the part of the student. And I think that's one of the greatest things that Nina has learned through the program, because they're required to go to their classes and find their classes. In Nina's situation, she utilizes public transportation, so she had to work through that piece. And as a mom, I had a lot of anxiety over her being able to navigate all of that independently. And so I think there's a certain level of preparation on the part of the parent as well as on the student.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point, Ms. Hobbs, because it is one of the things that families learn is how much independence their student can handle or not handle. And that's either way is a really good thing for us to know about our family members, or what it's going to take to help them learn how to manage their time and their schedule as well.
Dora, I was going to say the same thing. Thank you. My husband and I just needed to prepare ourselves too for the amount of independence David was going to have and how much we needed to back off and when we needed to step back in. And I think the Propel program was good about letting us know if we needed to step in. But it was a big change for us because we kind of had the reins over a lot of stuff and we needed to really release that. And that was an important thing for us to mentally prepare for that and to encourage David to get involved in social activities, because there's a lot of social stuff to do in college, but then not to do too much because you can forget that you're there for, your work there is as a student. And so that's your full-time job at first, and you need to pay attention to that full-time job. So it was for us to learn a balance and for David to learn a balance as well. So that's what I was going to say.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just wanted to echo Michelle Kylo in the group chat. We are just really inspired by the great work that Propel is doing, and we want to keep that going. Is there anything specifically, any action steps that we can take to make sure that Propel continues?
What we've done, go ahead. We have approached our first college about moving the program there. And this would be a move that would occur next year after our last cohort of students graduates next May. So we have some time. One of the things that we have learned from doing Propel is that oftentimes our most at-risk students are students who have the lowest incomes and fewer supports need more supports than even we can handle. So we wanted to start an 18 to 21-year-old program where we would start Propel in the high school. So students would take, some students might take it their senior year, some might take it during an 18 to 21-year-old program, so that they would still have all those additional supports. And by that, I simply mean sometimes food. Our first year, we were shocked by how hungry our students were. And we had to help figure out, how do they feed themselves? How do they get food? Healthcare, just a wide variety of things. Counseling, I mean, really regular counseling that they could go to, on-site counseling, which high schools all offer. And so we decided that would be the best course for many of our students, is just start the program while they were still in high school. And that was our plan for our next federal grant that we are writing, that will open up in just a few weeks. The Think College grant that has been funding Propel, that is what we want to do, write that grant. But we have to find a home to base out of in order to do that. So we're kind of under the gun right now as we
Hey,
search.
do you need thought partners, some thought partners to?
Yes, yes. And we've asked our community of family members and staff to help us with this too. We just haven't, we just submitted our first request to an area college, and we have more to go, but we were kind of waiting to see on that. But it's really important to us to start this in high school, so that students can have a dual enrollment. If they want to, they'll take college classes as well as their high school programming, and they'll have those supports. And we think that will help students be more successful. One of the hardest things for students to adjust to is all the time that they think they have on their hands when they go to college. Because, they have great gaps in between classes, which we help them fill. But because of all the independence, they can also blow off too, and the first semester is always very intense of push, pull, pulling students in. I mean, I've gone to the student union to find students who weren't at their house meetings before, just getting them over there because they are having too much fun where they are. So having to learn that, yeah, you have time, but that time has to be used for work. And so, yes, so we would like some help. I'm going to talk to my boss, Alexis Petrie, who is kind of directing all of this, to see when we can start talking with folks. But we did get our first college approached. Too, so.
I definitely want to continue the dialogue with you. And I'm sure everyone here is thinking of people in their network who are very interested in continuing Propel and loving that whole dual enrollment idea, because there really isn't like a centralized kind of bridge program to prepare you from. It's kind of like you just, you're done with high school now. Good luck, and so this is a great opportunity.
It's a horrible shock it was a shock for me. I had to put myself through college. I had to drop out of college because I was doing so poorly when I was 20 years old, and I was paying my own bills, and I didn't graduate from college till I was for my undergraduate program till I was 30 years old, because it took me that long to figure out how to be successful. And because I was paying my own bills, have that time to put money together and think things through. So I totally get the shock that it is for students when they first come to college. And it doesn't bother me that it is hard for them. to do that. We have one student from our very first cohort who I am so proud of. He left before he graduated. He is back now as a Kaufman Scholar.
Oh, wow.
And starting pre-nursing. And he worked really hard to get back into school, and is doing well in his classes. But sometimes it takes that extra time under your belt and to get some parts of your life settled. So I'm very, very proud of him. And we want to stay open so that more people have that opportunity too. I mean, more older students who may have not done well, like I didn't, like me, have an option to come back and get those extra supports.
Absolutely.
In our situation, we waited for Nina to start college because when she graduated from high school, she developmentally just was not ready to be able to do the work and to manage the time and do all the things she needed to do to be successful. So Nina entered the Propel program at age 25, and she already had 3 or 4 years of experience under her belt as far as working and participating in another college program. So I think that's something that's really important to consider, is the developmental level of the student. Are they developmentally ready to take on responsibilities and the level of independence that's required to be successful in college?
You're very wise, Miss Hobbs. Yes.
Good morning. I am Mega's dad. Hi.
Hi. Hi, Casey.
Hi. Thank you. So I thought I'll just add a few things. Okay. Mega's mom is here. Mega is here. Okay. So we are from Rolla, a small town. Most of the kids graduated with the Mega. They are still in Rolla. No future. There are some 15 students were there. So for you, I mean, it's Kansas City, a lot of activities and all those. So like previously they said, right? Maybe till the age of 26, these kids need help. Different kids have different problems. So it's very difficult to identify the uniformity. So most of these 2-year programs are up to the age of 26. So maybe instead of just going from 18 to 21, maybe we should go from 18 to 26, you know? That will help a lot of kids, and our goal was maybe even in Rolla we can send some student to Propel. That was our initial idea. Go to high school, talk to teachers, you know. So some of these kids will have a better life. I mean, you know.
Mr. Chandra, I'm curious. Why did you choose to? Why did you all choose UMKC over Mizzou's program?
See, Mizzou has no program. No, only it's in. AMSA has a program, but they have the requirement you have to stay in the dorm. Okay. Mega is not a candidate to be staying in the dorm. She is very intelligent, but very hyper. You know, she will go to others' room and, you know, so Mega has her own problems. So, you know, we looked into other program too, like Clemson University, but all those places they have to stay in the dorm. So UMKC is the only one where you have the flexibility, right? We rented an apartment near the campus. My wife was staying there last 2 years. That's why Mega could graduate. Now she is doing some additional courses at UMKC, and also she is doing some volunteer work for the vocational rehab, you know. And we keep her very busy. Yeah, we make a tight schedule. We sent her to the camp in Talisman Camp, North Carolina. She went for 3 summers, you know. That really helped her to stay with other kids and manage time and all those. So we put a lot of effort especially after she graduated from the high school. Because in the high school, what they do is they put these kids separately at one place. They did not gain much from the high school, you know. So we did a lot of retraining for her after she graduated in 2013. 2 years she was staying at home and reading all the books and all before she got ready for the Propel program to sit in the class. In fact, she sat in my class too, you know, because she cannot sit for 5 minutes before. Now she can sit for 1 or 2 hours at a stretch. So a lot of effort went into that. In fact, I can write a book on Mega, you know. But we have resources. I'm a professor at the university. We could send her to Kansas City, rent an apartment. No, others cannot do it, you know. Can we, some of these kids who needs help, you know, put them in some house or something where they can share the room and, you know, can we help them, you know?
Yeah.
And I think Kate Duffy is excellent, you know, she can become the program manager. We all can pitch in, you know, whatever we can do, you know, make like a, we can start the Kate University, in fact, you know, for this type of kids, you know, we can go in a long way. But I'm really sad with the UMKC that terminating the program, because we do have the budget cut, but we did not decide what program to chop off. But we still fight. I mean, we can still keep it as UMKC, because that way these kids have some pride that I went to university, right? You know, because they hear their friends are going to Stanford, MIT. You know, Mega used to tell me, okay, I want to go to Stanford, right? Only thing is we can cry, right? There is not much we can do, you know. At least now she has a university degree, and you know, so at least mentally she is very happy, you know. So.
You know,
yeah.
I was just going to say, I am seeing this as a challenge, but also as an opportunity. This is a chance to rally our community, to share the wonderful work, the great outcomes that have been achieved so far. And I am very motivated. And so my wheels are literally turning. I'm thinking of people that we need to reach out to, and who have who are used to bigger challenges than this. And so let's do it. You know, let's say we got a little time, and we got a lot of good energy. So let's move forward. I'm ready to
say one more thing is, if we can raise a fund, okay. I know they are writing a proposal to Department of Education. Those fundings fine. But if we can go through some senator or congressman, get some plus a program for this type of thing, you know, like they give 10 million, we can use those money and that can be continued. You know, if we can catch some politician, you know, like a state, like a senator, you know, there's another way to get the funding. I mean, you know.
And the fact that you're serving some of the most underserved, marginalized students, I think that this is a great resource that we want to continue, and even making sure that we are in the high schools so that we are really preparing students for college and career readiness. At that stage is a great opportunity. So I'm feeling a little optimistic. I know you all are weary, but let's do this, okay?
Well,
it's not over.
You know, this is more than a program. It's part of a movement.
Yes.
And it's impossible to shut down a movement once it gets going.
That's right.
You just have to just keep.
And we can make it like a more all states. Everybody can come, not just Missouri. I mean, you know, we can. You know,
absolutely.
Program. You know.
Absolutely.
And Propel had a lot of mentorship. You know, that is really good, because some other program they don't have one-on-one help. You know, so Propel has a lot of help. That's what we have to continue for these kids. I mean, to be successful. You know.
Very true. Well, friends, we have time for maybe one more question. Does anyone have one more question? Okay.
Oh, I wanted to answer Annette. Yes, Annette. Joshua is in the program, Joshua Caldwell, and he wants to continue through UMKC. He's getting ready to graduate from Propel, and he wants to continue because he's a wonderful artist. And he's a Paseo graduate and a wonderful artist. So we're trying to help him apply to UMKC's College of Arts and Sciences, and for him to keep going through the art program, which he's really done well in.
Wow, that makes me so happy. I taught Joshua in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. So that makes me so happy. He's now my Facebook friend, and he has shared with me a lot of his art, and he is fabulous. He's fabulous. Thank you guys for serving Josh.
Yeah, he is one. He is a delight.
I was going to say, Ms. Bradley, go ahead and share about his independence with the bus. Oh yeah, he has wanted to be able to not have to depend on people for transportation, his family. And so he had his work-based learning was at the Rue Pantry on campus. And he was so excited with the help of Crystal. She took me and Josh and showed us how to ride the shuttle down to the pantry. And he was so excited. The first time we went together with Crystal, and then after that, I would just text him and remind him, remember where Crystal showed us to get on? And he said it felt so good to be able to go somewhere without having to depend on someone else. And I said, that's a start, Josh, that's a start. So before the COVID, he had went, I think 3 or 4 times there and back. And he goes, it was quick. And I said, yeah, you were the first stop, but that's just an opportunity to see students become independent, and the feeling that they have inside, and to be able to witness that is so exciting. And he speaks of you often, Sister Annette. He saw that we were all friends on Facebook, and he said, she used to be my teacher. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, he remembers you well.
Little known fact about these 2 twins of ours, Miss Page and Miss Bradley. In the summers, they work at Worlds of Fun as managers for food and beverage section, and they have offered our students to apply there to work on the weekends when they're there, and they will do subtle job coaching for our students. And I think Josh should be one of those students. That's what made me think about it. So
yeah, he does want to be one. He is one that has approached us to participate. The transportation is the big issue, but we was hoping that maybe if we have enough interested students,
we could carpool.
And
yeah, because if I'm taking Thomas up there, I can swing by. I know right where Josh lives. I take him home all the time. So
can you share with me how my other students can apply? Because I taught that whole graduating class of students from Purcell, and they're all extremely talented in various fields of art.
I think that's the challenge, Ms. Irvin, because the program is housed at UMKC for next school year. Am I right, Kate?
Right.
There won't be applications accepted.
We couldn't take any new students. We were told very late in the spring we couldn't take any new students, and so made us feel really bad, but it was nothing we could do about it. So when we know where we're going to be housed and how we're going to do that, then we will start reaching back out to schools and everybody.
So, Ms. Irvin, this is a great opportunity to reach out to your network. We can put our heads together. I know you're like, wait a minute.
Right.
Okay, so Ms. Irvin, if you all don't know, Ms. Irvin is a fighter from way back. I mean, a fist fighter, okay?
Oh, yes, yes.
And so that fight, even though she's no longer fist fighting on the streets, that fight, she fights for people with disabilities, and she's getting ready to put on her gloves and go in the ring. So
absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, through Kim, we'll keep you posted because
thank you so
Kim
much.
is on our team.
Absolutely.
We wanted to submit to this one school before we jumped in and started bringing in people to see what we needed to do. But we will get you all organized and on our team to help with this. So
thank you.
Okay, everyone, we're going to transition now to our next stage is more of the resource sharing portion of the Tuesday Talks. And what I wanted to share this week is I had shared it before, but it's called Educating All Learners. And they have a really good resource page. And this week, it's a coalition of everyone from the Autism Society of America, everyone from the Down Syndrome Guild, and a lot of like special education administrators, they've come together and they have a page, and they're all putting out trainings and resources for us. And so I'll be sending some information from them. But also I wanted to let us know that on this coming Thursday from noon to 1, our friends at Missouri Family to Family are going to be having a webinar on sensory smart strategies for children with sensory processing disorders and ADHD. And it's going to really teach practical strategies for how to just make everyday tasks and outings easier. And so if you're interested, there will be a link so that you can register. And then also, as we are still inside, if you have Netflix and you haven't had a chance to check out the documentary Crip Camp, please do. It is a documentary on the disability revolution, and it was actually produced by President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama. It was one of their productions. And so how cool is it that they are documenting disability revolution, this important time in history. So those are 2 items that are on our resource page this week. If you have others, please let me know. I'll be glad to add them. Any other feedback or questions for the good of the order, resource-wise? Okay, and then I wanted to also give you a little bit of a preview for next week. We are going to continue our dialogue about the importance of college and how it is truly an opportunity for all of us. We are going to feature a dynamic, a former KC public school student, Johnny Gordon. Johnny has Asperger's, and he was diagnosed kind of late. And his mother, Jennifer Johnson, they're going to talk with us next week about how he managed his Asperger's and completed his bachelor's degree at Old Dominion University in Virginia. So we are going to continue our dialogue about how college and higher education is possible for everyone. And I wanted to also remind everyone, we also are going to continue the party at 6 p.m. The Propel Party, can't stop, won't stop.
That's right.
That's
They
right.
right there.
Yes.
Wear your tiara tonight, okay?
I will.
Please.
That's it.
See, this is kind of the sneak preview, but the party really kicks off tonight at 6 o'clock. So if you all please return or tell others, maybe a lot of people had to work, that we will be talking more about Propel tonight at 6. And just getting this dialogue going and letting everyone know that college is available to everyone and success is available to everyone. I want to thank our friends at Propel. I will see you all tonight. And thank you for the wonderful work you are doing. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Thank
you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Miss Duffy, can I
Yeah.
talk to you? Can I talk to you real quick?
Well, not on this screen. You'll have to email me, okay? Or call me
Okay.
or text me, okay?
Can you send me an email so I can talk to you on Zoom?
Uh-huh. I will do that. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Miss Duffy?
Yeah.
This one more. How do I go? Miss Bradley? She's in a house meeting today. No, but she said 1 and 1 at the house meeting.
Thank you, Miss Duffy. I think she's still talking about the house meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at 1 o'clock.
All right.
Bye.
See you soon, Miss Duffy.
Okay.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Kim.
Nice to meet you too.
Bye.
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 Hey,
Yeah, this is Oscar.
This is my daughter. Bye.
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 He was on the call too. We have to acknowledge him at the next meeting. If he's on